So I just beat Doom Dark Ages and it took me around 8 hours. While this might not be the best Doom game ever made, it's still one of the best first-person shooters out there and deserves recognition. What I appreciate about the Doom franchise is that each of them has their own distinct identity. Sure, they're all heavy metal, demons, rip and tear, but the gameplay has enough nuance to justify playing all of them and having one be your favorite. I think the lead designer put it best when he said that in Doom Eternal, you were a fighter jet, but in Dark Ages, you're a monster truck. Combat focuses more on the horizontal than the vertical. You're very grounded in this game, and as such, you're also very fast. The main gimmick is the shield, which allows you to block, parry enemy attacks, and counter with your own attacks, resulting in the enemy dropping health or ammo. It's so exhilarating being on the verge of death to execute a demon and get all your health back. I love when you're rewarded for being aggressive. But where problems set in is the lack of combat variety. See, near the start of the game, they introduced these two core mechanics: overheating metal to make it explode, and overcharging plasma to cause a chain reaction through enemies. But the combat doesn't really evolve beyond that, and most of the enemies that you'll fight will have metal armor with maybe like one enemy type having a plasma shield. Initially, I got really excited thinking of how crazy and complex the combat would get further on in the game, but it never got deeper than that. And rather than swapping to certain weapons to deal with certain enemies, like in the previous Doom games, you can just get through the entire game using the super shotgun. Because you can easily hurl yourself towards enemies, and enemies will often dash into your face, making long-range weapons feel pointless. Another thing the developer emphasized was dodging and weaving through enemy projectiles, similar to the old Doom titles, which is something I was really excited about in the media leading up to the game's release. But most of the projectiles track you and encourage you to block rather than evade. With all those complaints out of the way, I can still say that the gameplay is amazing. You wanna know what else is amazing? Having a game with good performance in 2025. Doom runs buttery smooth and looks fantastic. I felt guilty blazing through this game as fast as possible because the environments are beautiful. Sound design also kicks ass. More particularly, the weapon sounds and combat sounds are perfect. id Software has always had great sound design with their weapons, but the sound effects also do a lot of heavy lifting with the combat itself, because you'll hear specific sounds for attacks you can parry and stuff. It's subtle, not overwhelming, and gives you that little extra edge to know what's going on. Where the sound lacks, however, is the music. I'm sorry, but this soundtrack sucks. It's just generic heavy metal with no tracks standing out. Mick Gordon did the soundtrack for the other Doom games, and oh my God, I miss him. Story. Wait, there's a story in this game? Yeah, the story's trash and only ever serves as a reason to go kill things. And because Doomslayer is just the silent protagonist, they have to rely on side characters for the story, but it's just not interesting. I preferred it when they would just have the Doomslayer do something badass without there being all this talking around it. As for my recommendation, I think those who are new to Doom can buy this game without question, but returning fans might want to grab it on Game Pass or get it on sale. This is an expensive game, and as with every Doom game, it's a one and done. Yes, there's collectible items and you can replay missions with your gun upgrades, but I already beat the final boss, so who cares? Speaking of bosses, there's only like 2 or 3, all within the final levels of the game. My only hope for the next Doom game is that they finally add co-op. Don't let my complaints fool you. Doom the Dark Ages is still running laps around other first-person shooters. It's just when compared to the holy grail that is Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, Doom the Dark Ages takes a sidestep instead of a step up.